It is high school football, Alabama's After the Game on a Football Friday night presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder, Michael Short, Chad Barnett, our entire hardworking After the Game team with you all the way until beyond midnight tonight with all the scores, highlights, all the information you need about high school football here in East Alabama. We are going to begin the show by jumping to the final scores. We've got just about every final score in East Alabama and from all the big games around the state. So right now we're going to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard, and we'll catch up on all the final scores across East Alabama. We will have highlights of this game. This was a wild game in the fourth quarter. At one time, Piedmont led Ohatchee 21-20 in this game. But Ohatchee scores the last 18 points of the game. There was an onside kick. There was a pick six by Ohatchee. And Ohatchee goes to 4-1 as they beat the Piedmont Bulldogs tonight at the Field of Champions 38-21. We are scheduled to be joined by the head coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs, Jonathan Miller, a little bit later on in the show to talk about that game. This was something that was interesting that happened today. White Plains and Anniston, an important game in Class 4A Region 4. Homecoming at Anniston, the game being postponed. The superintendent of the Calhoun County Schools making that call on behalf of the White Plains Wildcats. So the White Plains-Anniston game, don't know if they're going to play this game. They're trying to look at some possible ways to replay this game. It is a region game, so trying to get this game played, but it did not happen tonight. Homecoming, the parade was canceled yesterday, the pep rally canceled, and now the game tonight canceled. So postponed Anniston and White Plains. They were supposed to play the game tonight up at Watt Mosby Memorial Stadium in Anniston. Victory Christian and Donahoe. Donahoe on the road in Pell City tonight, trying to find their first win, but Victory Christian gets an important region win as Victory Christian beats Donahoe tonight 27-13. A huge win for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Number 9 in Class 6A. The Yellow Jackets now 5-0. They go to Willie Adams Stadium. They beat an old nemesis in Pinson Valley tonight. This was a close game at the half, but in the second half, it was all Oxford as Oxford beats Pinson Valley 40-6, the final score in that game tonight from over at Pinson. Also this evening, a huge win for Walter Welborn. Dadeville, the defending region champion out of Class 3A Region 4 from last year. Walter Welborn goes to Tiger Stadium in Dadeville tonight, and they beat the Dadeville Tigers 21-12. Huge win for Jeff Smith and the Welborn Panthers as they go to 2-0 now in region play. Still looking for a final. Well, we do have the final. Childersburg tonight. This score literally just coming in. Childersburg outscoring Sachs tonight 42-31 at John Cox Stadium in Childersburg. Childersburg gets the region win 42-31 over Sachs. Sachs falls to 0-5 on the year. Springville and Alexandria tonight. Alexandria is 0-5 for the first time since 1948. Springville beats Alexandria tonight. That was by a score of 49-21. We got that 41-21. We'll correct that. That is actually 49-21. Springville beating Alexandria. Randolph County and Weaver tonight playing at Hewlin Humphrey Stadium in Wedowee. Randolph County goes to 4-0, an important region win in that 3A Region 4 race as Randolph County outscores Weaver tonight 46-29. Randolph County 46-29 for Weaver. Jacksonville, our reigning Ted's Fours and Beyond Team of the Week. You'll see some video in just a few moments of their pep rally today. Jacksonville, number 7 team in the state in 4A, goes to Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega. No problem beating the Tigers tonight. 51-0. Talladega falls to 0-4. Jacksonville at 4-1. A huge win tonight for the Jacksonville Christian Thunder. Now, they had about a 4-hour trip over to Meridian, Mississippi to take on the defending champions in the Christian Football Association, Russell Christian. Jacksonville Christian goes to 6-0 as the Thunder rolls over Russell Christian, Mississippi, 37-6. Russell Christian handed JCA their only 2 losses last year, regular season loss at Jacksonville and in the championship game in Tuscaloosa. JCA with one of the biggest wins they've had in years, winning at Russell Christian tonight in Meridian, Mississippi, 37-6. Pleasant Valley tonight, a winner over Cleveland. Pleasant Valley is 4-0. They beat Cleveland tonight, 21-16 was the final score in that game. We are scheduled to be joined by the head coach of the Pleasant Valley Raiders, Jonathan Dix, will join us right here live on After the Game tonight, as Pleasant Valley is now 2-0 in region play in Class 2A Region 6. Cleburne County and Munford, huge win for Joby Burns and the Cleburne County Tigers at home tonight at Ellie Bell Field in Heflin at the Pit. Cleburne County goes to 3-1. A huge region win as they beat Munford 37-21. They were leading Munford 37-7 at one point. Big win for Cleburne County tonight over the Munford Lions. Ranbert wins against their arch rival Woodland tonight at Sewell Field at Woodland. Ranbert improves to 3-2. 28-7 winners over Woodland. Ranbert 28 and Woodland 7. This was a game that my crew was at tonight. Top game in the state, regardless of classification. We'll have highlights of this game coming. Number 3 in 5A, Central Clay County, taking on number 5 in Class 4A, Handley. It was all Clay Central tonight. They led 24-6 at halftime, and then they go on and win it 31-6. An impressive performance by Danny Horn and the Central Clay County Volunteers. We'll have highlights of that game, all the big plays in the game. It was a big play volunteer team in the first half, and we'll bring you all of those big plays from that first half in our highlights. Clay Central goes to 4-0, first loss of the year for the Handley Tigers. Wadley tonight, number 9 team in Class 1A. They continue to roll. This was a close game early, but Wadley pulls away in the second half, and they beat Raglan 32-6 tonight down at Wadley to remain undefeated at 5-0. Legion Stadium in Sylacauga tonight. Trinity Presbyterian had not been to Legion Stadium in 10 years. It was a good trip up from Montgomery tonight as they come in and roll over Sylacauga 55-21. Trinity 55, Sylacauga 21. Last night at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga, the number 1 team in the state in Class 2A, BB Comer, rolling over number 6 Vincent. These teams came into this game undefeated, but BB Comer with another impressive win. It was a region win. They beat the Vincent Yellow Jackets 36-0 last night at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. Tonight, a lot of points scored here. As a matter of fact, 100 points scored tonight at Farm Links Field in Fayetteville, where Isabella, the Mustangs, come in and they beat the Fayetteville Wolves tonight. Fayetteville has never beaten Isabella. It didn't happen tonight. Isabella wins it 67-33, the final. Spring Garden and Winneboro, key game tonight in region play for Spring Garden. Spring Garden's never lost to Winneboro. They did not tonight. Spring Garden wins at Winneboro 15-6 as the Garden goes above 500 to 3-2. Last night, South Carolina School for the Deaf was supposed to have come over from Columbia, South Carolina to play at ASD in Talladega. They forfeited that game, so that is officially a 1-0 win for ASD. ASD goes to 3-1 with that forfeit win over South Carolina School for the Deaf last night. The Moody Blue Devils bouncing back after that loss last week to Bishop McNamara out of Maryland. Number 6 Moody tonight at home. They beat the Lincoln Golden Bears 28-3. Southside continues to roll on the road, playing tonight in Odenville. They beat the St. Clair County Saints 42-13 as Southside improves to 4-1. Collinsville and Sandrock tonight, huge rival game at Rusty Jakeaway Stadium at Sandrock. Collinsville, no problem with their arch rivals from up on the mountain. Collinsville wins it 59-14. Cherokee County, number 2 team in the state in 4A, at home tonight at Bobby Joe Johnson Field and Center. No problem with the Hanceville Bulldogs. Cherokee County moves to 5-0 as they beat Hanceville 55-0. Appalachian tonight goes into Galesville, into Roy Knapp Stadium. They beat the Trojans 39-12 as Appalachian goes to 4-1 overall. Decatur Heritage and Cedar Bluff, this game being played at West Morgan High School up in Trinity in Morgan County. Decatur Heritage squeezes by Cedar Bluff. This was an important game in Class 1A Region 7 as far as playoff positioning goes. Decatur Heritage gets the win. Nice bounce-back win for the Eagles after that loss to Coosa Christian last week. Decatur Heritage wins it 13-7 over Cedar Bluff. West End and Gaston in a 2A Region 6 battle tonight out at Shinbone Ridge at Gaston. West End rolls over the Gaston Bulldogs 53-16 tonight. We're going to have highlights of this game for you coming from Hoax Bluff. Hoax Bluff, an impressive win tonight as they beat Westbrook Christian 47-21. We will have highlights of this game tonight from Mike Robertson Stadium out at Hoax Bluff. We'll also have highlights of this game. Plainview comes into Glencoe. They beat the Yellow Jackets 35-7. Good defense by Plainview. Would expect that with Jeremy Pruitt on the sidelines. You'll see him, and you'll also see highlights of the Plainview-Glencoe game as Plainview gets a big win in Class 3A Region 6 with that 35-7 win over Glencoe. Coosa Christian scores 35 points tonight at Valley Head. This was a revenge game for Coosa Christian. Number 7 team in the state in 1A. Their only loss in region play last year was at home to Valley Head, 35-33. It cost Coosa Christian the region title last year. Coosa Christian takes care of business. They go to Tiger Stadium in Valley Head. They beat the Tigers tonight 35-0 to move to 4-1. Great game tonight in 6A at Hartselle at J.P. Kane Stadium. Number 6 Hartselle hosting Gadsden City. Tough loss for Gadsden City. Hartselle holds on to beat Gadsden City 31-28 tonight. Hartselle 31, Gadsden City 28. Oxford goes to Hartselle next Friday night. This game went to overtime tonight over in Coleman County, tied at 21. In overtime, Blake Bone, the interim coach at Etowah, they win, and they get another region win. 2 region wins now for the Blue Devils as Etowah beats Good Hope in overtime. This game did go to overtime. Etowah over Good Hope 28-21 in OT. Sardis and Columbia playing. This is now a final. This one just came in. Columbia with the state's longest losing streak, not only currently, but ever in state history. They have now lost 76 consecutive games. Sardis beats Columbia tonight in Huntsville 42-8, the final. A lot of folks interested in this game. This is a top 10 matchup in Class 3A. Number 8 Sylvania hosting DeKalb County rival and number 7 Geraldine. A lot of folks think this is going to have a lot to do with who wins the region. Sylvania led at one time 31-3. They beat Geraldine tonight 37-16 as Sylvania remains undefeated 4-0. Geraldine falls to 4-1. Another big game involving top 10 teams at Jackson tonight at Legion Field in Jackson. Number 4 Jackson, the Aggies, no problem with number 9 Bayside Academy. They have beaten 2 top 10 teams in Class 4A in consecutive weeks in blowout fashion. Last week they beat T.R. Miller 38-7. Tonight they beat Bayside Academy out of Daphne 35-0. Jackson, number 4 in the state in 4A, rolls on at 4-0. And Beauregard and Charles Henderson, this is a final score from down at Beauregard in Lee County tonight. This is our last final score, a top 10 matchup in Class 5A. And that was number 8, Charles Henderson, going in and shutting down Beauregard tonight. That final score was 27-0. Our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard here on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Let's tell you about Regional Medical Center. We're coming to you tonight from the RMC Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Midtown Anniston. We're here every Friday night at the RMC Media Center with high school football Alabama's After the Game. And going on in the month of September with RMC Health System, of course, September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. So next week will be the last week of September, and RMC Urology is having free prostate cancer screenings all month long. So you've got one more week to do that. 237-6717. That's 237-6717, part of RMC Foundation's Early Detection Connection program. When we come back, we're going to show you some Team of the Week video. We've got tons of highlights, all the final scores, region rundown, guests coming in, all kind of things happening. The best place for high school football, really the only place that you need to be on a football Friday night, is right here on YouTube and Facebook. High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Back in just a moment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you are an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Pee Wee Turner Motors, the area's longest established used car dealer. It all began back in 1969 on South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. They have thousands of satisfied customers, bringing strong, selling quality late model vehicles to all the folks here in East Alabama. Not only do they sell great quality used cars, but they also can help you rent a car, a Penske moving truck, or even a Cruise America RV. You can see those. They have some of those down on their lot on South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. 512 South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. You can give them a call, 237-4649. Pee Wee Turner Motors, PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net is the place to go. Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder, we'll have Michael Short, we'll have Chad Barnett a little bit later on in the program with all kind of highlights and things going on. I want to take you out to our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week presentation. We were not at Jacksonville High School today. Jacksonville High School was the winner, but we were not at Jacksonville High School. We were at Kitty Stone Elementary today, an outdoor pep rally. Look at this scene up there, and those kids were making some noise. You see the football team in the back. It was a great scene today. The band was there, cheerleaders, dance team, and those young kids, I'm telling you, these are heroes to those young kids at Jacksonville High School. No doubt about that. There I am with the bullhorn. Yes, Jason Gregerson there, Kathy Gregerson there. We're giving out T-shirts. We've got the Anniston Orthopedic score shirts, the TED shirts. We've got our Tough Guy Trophy from Awards to Remember as we're presenting that to the Jacksonville football team today. I'm just folding my arms back there watching all this unfold. There's our Team of the Week shirt from Addison Orthopedics with the score on the back from last week's game. Jacksonville 52, Anniston 24 with the date. There's the trophy, the guys, the seniors on the team coming forward for the Golden Eagles to accept that Team of the Week trophy, the Tough Guy Trophy. That also has the score of the game and the date as well. There's the team. They're in the gym at Kitty Stone Elementary School with their Ted's t-shirts on. Here's one. I've got one here. This is not the Ted's t-shirt. This is not the t-shirt that they had today. This is one from our past weeks. This is what they get with the score of the game on the back, courtesy of the folks at Anniston Orthopedics. And coming up later on tonight, I'm going to throw that to the side over there. We will be announcing our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. And as you can tell from the scores and what we're seeing here on our Alabama Teachers Credit Union bottom line, we have a number of worthwhile candidates, and we'll have that coming up toward the end of the show, a little bit after midnight tonight here on Facebook and YouTube with High School Football Alabama's After the Game. Right now, we got a very important event that's coming. Fellowship of Christian Athletes of the Chehaw Valley has a once-a-year event. It's called Fields of Faith, coming to Choccolocco Park. If you're in junior high, if you're in high school, if you're a college student, this is a free event for you. It's coming up on Wednesday night, October the 4th. Here to talk about it, we've got the area director for the Chehaw Valley FCA, Cole Limbaugh, with us here live on this Football Friday night. Cole, good evening and welcome in, and tell us about Fields of Faith.
Thanks, John. Thanks for having us. Yeah, Fields of Faith is really a night for the students, by the students. So it's a night of student-led worship. We're really excited. It's going to be at Choccolocco Park on October the 4th, Wednesday night, coming up real soon. And got a great lineup of student testimonies. Got a student praise band that'll be leading our worship. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, going to be free pizza out there. We got that coming. We've got games that they'll be playing beforehand. You got all they'll have a football. They'll have soccer balls out there. They'll have all kind of games they'll be playing. The weather should be good. New date this year. This has always been in November, but FCA's moved it up a month, right?
Yeah, moved it up a month, hopefully to get some better weather, get a good turnout. And yeah, we got mellow mushroom pizza coming out. So 6 to 6:30, we're gonna have this food and fellowship, have those tailgate type games that you mentioned. And then 6:30, we'll start our worship service and try and be wrapped up around 7:45. So gonna be an awesome night.
Gonna be a great night. And this is something that takes place all across the country with FCA. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the exact same night across the country. We're doing a little different, trying to avoid what's going on with fall break and those kind of things. But this is part of a nationwide event with FCA. What's the goal here, Cole, with Fields of Faith?
At the core of Fields of Faith is it's a night where we want students to challenge their peers to read God's Word. So we're going to have student testimonies where they share about their faith in Christ and the work that He has done and is doing in their life. And at the core of the night is really a challenge from the students to their peers to read God's Word. So we'll wrap up the night with a 21-day challenge to read the Gospel of John. And we believe that if people will read God's Word, He'll do a transformative work in their life.
And they'll be hearing about the 4. I wear this everywhere. People can see this right here. This is the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. This is a 4 bracelet. This is a simple way to, people will say, John, what's this 4 mean right here? What are those things? And explain what the 4 is. I should do that, but I'm going to let you do that. And explain these 4 bracelets and what the 4 means. It's a simple way to share the gospel.
It's the 4 gospel truths right there. It's summarized for you. So the heart, God loves you. The division sign, sin separates you. The cross, Jesus rescues you. And then the question mark is, will you trust Jesus?
Awesome. And there'll be 4 bracelets out there that you'll be giving away at Fields of Faith as well. Very quickly, going to get you out of here on this Football Friday night. You got young ones at home, very young ones at home. So tell us about just the things that are going on with FCA. You've got what we call huddles going on all across the Chehaw Valley.
John, I think right now may be the most momentum that I've ever felt in ministry with FCA, just all around the Chehaw and the Coosa Valley. We have 11 counties we serve across northeast Alabama, and had the honor to baptize a football player at Lincoln High School this week. We've had numerous kids trust in Christ for salvation this school year. We have many huddles reaching literally thousands of coaches and athletes around our area right now in these 11 counties. So a lot of coaches' Bible studies, athlete huddles, team huddles with various fall sport teams. So it's a really exciting time of the year, and I think God's just got a lot of momentum right now in the ministry of FCA.
We're going to throw some information up on the screen here about Fields of Faith, and so people can see that. There it is, October 4th at Choccolocco Park. This will be on the soccer fields in the back part of the park. Bring your lawn chair. Adults can come to this. They can go to fieldsoffaith.com to find out about Fields of Faith. But Cole, where can they go if they want to find out more about FCA here locally in the Cheaha Valley?
Yeah, CoosaValleyFCA.org is where you'll find all the information about our 11 counties and upcoming events. Got also a camp coming up in December at Shockoe Springs, December 15th to the 17th. We're going to actually have some information about an early bird special for registration that we'll pass out at Fields of Faith coming up on October the 4th.
Don't miss it. We'll remind you again about this next Friday night, but Wednesday night, October 4th, Choccolocco Park on the soccer fields, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Fields of Faith 2023. Cole, thank you for being with us here on After the Game. Appreciate the work that you're doing with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes here in East Alabama, specifically in the Cheaha Valley.
Thank you for having us, John. Cole
Limbaugh with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. As we go to break, it's time for our first extra point of the night, presented by Red Threads. Class 7A Hoover fell out of the Alabama Sports Writers Association high school football poll this week for the first time since 2000. The Bucs spent 266 consecutive weeks ranked in the top 10 in the state in either classes 6A or 7A. And the last time Hoover was not ranked was in the final poll of the 1999 season. Hoover 1-3 headed into tonight's game against Hewitt-Trussville. They lost that one as well. Hewitt-Trussville, that score just coming in, beat Hoover 28-0 tonight. So they are now 1-4. We'll be back with more of After the Game as we roll on a football Friday night.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop. These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anderson Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect. A place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life. A place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Back on high school football, Alabama after the game. Presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder with you on this football Friday night. Let's go back to the USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. We have every score tonight, so just sit right here and we'll take you through every score in East Alabama and the big ones around the state as well. Ohatchee tonight, wild fourth quarter. Ohatchee beats Piedmont 38-21 at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. Piedmont goes to 1-3. Ohatchee improves to 4-1. Scheduled to be joined by the head coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs, Jonathan Miller, just a little bit later on the program here on this football Friday night. The White Plains-Anniston game postponed. A lot of things happening in Anniston this week. White Plains, the superintendent of schools for the Calhoun County school system, elects to not play this game tonight. So Anniston and White Plains possibly postponed to a later date. We will see how that works out. This was supposed to be a region game in Class 4A Region 4. Anniston's homecoming, this game not played tonight, postponed. Let's also tell you about victory in Donahoe. Victory Christian winning at home tonight against the Donahoe Falcons 27-13. Oxford tonight, big win on the road. Number 9 team in 6A. Oxford now 5-0, getting ready to go to Hartselle next week. Oxford getting a lot of revenge. McAdory beat them last year. They beat McAdory. Pinson Valley beat them last year. They beat Pinson Valley tonight 40-6. Can they do the same thing to Hartselle? Hartselle came in and beat Oxford on homecoming last year. Oxford goes to Hartselle next week. Oxford beating Pinson Valley tonight at Willie Adams Stadium in Pinson Valley 40-6. Huge win for Jeff Smith and the Walter Wellborn Panthers. This is another team that got some revenge. Dadeville came to the Hill last year on their way to an undefeated regular season and a region title. They beat Wellborn last year, but tonight Walter Wellborn beats Dadeville at Tiger Stadium 21-12, the final. Childersburg, a winner over Sachs. The Wildcats remain winless as Childersburg wins the game 42-31. Springville and Alexandria, got that one corrected there. Springville wins the game over Alexandria tonight 49-21. Alexandria 0-5 for the first time since 1948. Springville wins it 49-21 tonight at Tiger Stadium in Springville. Randolph County remains undefeated. The Tigers 4-0 at home at Hewlin-Humphrey Stadium in Wedowee tonight, outscoring the Weaver Bearcats 46-29. Jacksonville, number 7 team in 4A, our reigning Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week, having no problem at Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega, beating the Tigers tonight 51-0 as Talladega falls to 0-4. Huge win for Jacksonville Christian, 6-0 now. They go all the way to Meridian, Mississippi, and they beat the 2-time defending champion out of the CFA. That's the Christian Football Association, a team that handed Jacksonville Christian their only 2 losses last year. JCA wins tonight in Meridian, Mississippi, 37-6. A happy bunch of thunder coming back up I-59 and I-20 to Calhoun County from Mississippi tonight. Pleasant Valley winners over Cleveland 21-16. Pleasant Valley is now 4-0, and they are 2-0 in region play in Class 2A Region 6. We are going to be joined by the head coach of the Pleasant Valley Raiders, Jonathan Nix, will join us live on After the Game in just a little bit. Cleburne County, huge win for Joey Burns and the Tigers, playing at home, Ellie Bell Field at the Pit in Heflin tonight. Cleburne County beats Munford 37-21, a key win for Cleburne County in that 4A Region 4 race. Ranburne tonight, big arch rival game. Ranburne beats Woodland over on the state line at Sewell Field at Woodland. Ranburne 28, Woodland 7 tonight. We'll have highlights of this game. Number 3 and 5A Central of Clay County taking on number 5 and 4A Handley. 24-6 at halftime, Clay Central. They win it 31-6. Big plays by Central Clay in the first half, and we've got all of them. We're going to show you all of those coming up here on After the Game. Also tonight, Wadley continues to roll, the number 9 team in 1A, beating a very good Ragland team 32-6 was the final score in that game tonight. Wadley and Raglan. Trinity Presbyterian and Sylacauga playing at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga tonight. The Aggies 0-5. Chris Smelly, the new head coach, still looking for his first win of the year. Sylacauga has lost 17 straight games now. Trinity wins 55-21 tonight. Last night at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga, the #1 team in Class 2A, BB Comer, rolling over #6 in 2A Vincent 36-0. 100 points tonight scored at Farm Links Field in Fayetteville. 2A Region 4 battle. Isabella, the Mustangs come in and they beat the Fayetteville Wolves tonight 67-33. Spring Garden gets a big road win in Class 1A Region 6 playing at Winterboro tonight. They beat the Bulldogs 15-6. Last night, Alabama School for the Deaf scheduled to play South Carolina School for the Deaf at Kiwanis Field in Talladega. A forfeit by South Carolina, and ASD wins the game by forfeit. Moody tonight rolling over the Lincoln Golden Bears. Moody #6 in the state in 5A, beating Lincoln 28-3. Southside continues to roll, winning in Odenville tonight against St. Clair County 42-13. Collinsville bounces back after that big loss to Pisgah last week. They win at Sandrock 59-14. Cherokee County, #2 team in 4A, continues to roll. 5-0 undefeated. They win at home tonight at Bobby Joe Johnson Field in Center against Hanceville 55-0. Appalachian winning at Galesville tonight 39-12. Decatur Heritage squeezes past Cedar Bluff tonight over in Morgan County at West Morgan High School. That's where Decatur Heritage plays their home games. The Eagles win it 13-7. West End, no problem at Gaston tonight, winning 53-16. Highlights of this game coming. Hoax Bluff, a huge win tonight at home at Mike Robertson Stadium. They beat Westbrook Christian 47-21 in an Etowah County rival game. Highlights of that game on the way. Plainview comes into Glencoe tonight. They beat the Yellow Jackets 35-7. Highlights of that game, you'll see some of Jeremy Pruitt in our highlights, the defensive coordinator for the Plainview Bears. Coosa Christian tonight, a revenge game at Valley Head. Valley Head handed them their only region loss last year and won the region championship. Coosa Christian gets revenge tonight at Tiger Stadium in Valley Head. It's the coldest place in the state of Alabama. And Coosa Christian made it feel even colder tonight as they beat the Valley Head Tigers 35-0. Hartselle and Gadsden City. Hartselle, the #6 team in the state in 6A, playing at home at J.P. Kane Stadium in Hartselle. They beat Gadsden City, hanging on to win 31-28 tonight. This game in Coleman County, a Good Hope, went to overtime. It was tied at 21 in overtime. Etowah picks up their second region win as the Blue Devils win over the Good Hope Raiders 28-21. Sardis extends the misery for Columbia. Columbia has the longest losing streak in state history. It's now reached 76 games as Sardis beats Columbia 42-8 tonight up in the Rocket City of Huntsville. Big top 10 matchup on Sand Mountain tonight. Huge game in 3A Region 6. #8 Sylvania, really good football team. They led 37-7 at one point, put it on cruise control, beat #7 and DeKalb County rival Geraldine 37-16 tonight. Also in South Alabama, #4 in 4A, Jackson, a winner over Bayside Academy of Daphne, who was #9 in 4A. Jackson playing at Legion Field in Jackson has no problem winning 35-0. And the big game in 5A tonight was supposed to be in Beauregard. Didn't happen. #8 Charles Henderson and Class 5A out of Troy. They come to Lee County and they beat the Beauregard Hornets tonight, ranked #9 in 5A, 27-0. Let's tell you about the Calhoun County Quarterback Club. They are now in full swing on the season as far as getting their guest speakers. It's every Monday night taking place at the Anniston Country Club is the Calhoun County Quarterback Club, and they've got a great lineup of speakers coming. This coming Monday night, SEC football official Rob Skelton will be there. Look at the lineup in October. Greg Seitz, the AD at Jacksonville State, Mark Jones, former head of officials for the AHSAA, the greatest offensive lineman perhaps of all time, John Hanna, will be coming. head football coach and former NFL quarterback and head football coach of the UAB Blazers, Trent Dilfer, will be in town. And the AD at Auburn University, John Cohen, will be out to close out the season and close out the month of October. Still not too late for you to get involved. Contact Kevin Gibson at 256-453-4886. It is the time of night now to talk about the Farmers and Merchants Bank Spirit Scholarship. Here's what you do. You go to our Facebook page, High School Football Alabama, starting at midnight tonight. These will be up at midnight, and you can vote all the way through 12 noon next Friday, September the 29th. And we've got 19 schools. There are 2 female scholar athletes, 2 male scholar athletes from every school in Calhoun and Cherokee counties. This week, we are going to be looking at the nominees from both Faith Christian School in Anniston and also Oxford High School. So here are the 2 female scholar athlete nominees from Faith Christian School in Anniston. Representing the Lions, we have Evie Garrett, cross country, track and softball player with a 4.2 GPA. The other female nominee from Faith Christian School is Hannah Hubbard, a volleyball, cheerleader, and softball player with a 4.37 GPA. The 2 male athletes representing Faith Christian School, Joseph Carroll, soccer, track, and basketball player with a 4.0 GPA. And the final nominee from Faith Christian is Joshua Muse. He is a tennis, cross-country, and indoor and outdoor track participant with a 4.43 GPA. Now, we also have 4 scholar athletes from Oxford High School. Ashlyn Burns, a volleyball, softball, and flag football player for the Yellow Jackets with a 3.9 GPA. We also have Jamia Gaston from Oxford, a volleyball, basketball, and softball player with a, look at that, a 4.6 GPA. And then the 2 male scholar athletes representing Oxford High School. You've got TJ Allen. He's a basketball player with a 4.0 GPA. And you also have Caleb Sanders. He's a basketball star for the Oxford Yellow Jackets with a 3.75 GPA. We had 76 scholar athletes. That's going to be reduced down to 38. They'll each get a $50 gift card from Farmers and Merchants Bank. And then from those 38, we'll be voting for 2, 1 male, 1 female, that will each get a $1,500 college scholarship courtesy of Farmers and Merchants Bank. This will go on all year long, all the way up until really our last show coming up in November here in East Alabama. Again, midnight tonight. You go to our Facebook page, High School Football Alabama, and you just like the picture of the one that you want to vote for. Voting stays open until 12 noon next Friday for Faith Christian School, and for Oxford, next Friday is the deadline at 12 noon on September the 29th. Let's talk about Farmers and Merchants Bank. We've been telling you about them and the Spirit Scholarship. They now have locations not only throughout Calhoun County, Piedmont, Oxford, Anniston, Jacksonville, but they also now have a new office in Center. You're going to see the gentleman who runs that office in Center just a little bit later on in the program. They have given away $24,000 in scholarship money just in the last few years at Farmers and Merchants Bank, and about to do it again with our Spirit Scholarship Contest. A lot of highlights, a lot of things still to come as High School Football Alabama's After the Game rolls on a football Friday night.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I can instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Westbrook Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Back on high school football, Alabama after the game presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We are about to meet this week's Grub Mart muscle team. 9 of them this week. We're going to introduce you to those guys. But before we do, let me tell you about Grub Mart. I was at their website just today. Go to grubmart.com. All kind of information there. You can get the Super Saver card, the Marathon Rewards card. The website is fantastic. They're all over the place. They've got 3 locations in Auburn, 3 locations in Opelika. So if you're going down to an Auburn football game, they got you covered in Lee County. Also, all over this part of the state, Center, Piedmont. They're in Jacksonville. They're in Oxford. They're in Alexandria. They're in Southside. Go by and see the folks at Young Oil Grub Mart, and they bring you our muscle team. We recognize the top offensive or defensive line performance from the previous week, and this week our muscle team was the offensive line from Walter Welborn High School, and there they are. Coach Smith says he's got 9 of them. Jeff Smith, tell us about these guys. Jay Montgomery, Ethan Carroll, Andrew Salter, Trey Downs, Gage Gardner, Will Phillips, Zach Presley, Kenny Truss, and I saved the best for last, Dozer Hayes, an offensive lineman on the muscle team. Dozer Hayes, that is the offensive line from Walter Welborn High School. Last Friday night, I watched these guys. Coach Short and Chad Barnett are about to join us here in a moment. This is a really good 3A offensive line. Last week, they had 523 yards of total offense, did Welborn, including about 463 rushing, and they scored 60 points in that homecoming win over Beulah and that region win. And obviously, when you throw up 500 yards of total offense, your offensive line is doing some business, and that's our muscle team, the Walter Welborn offensive line. I was at Welborn today, took them their muscle shirts, their Grub Mart muscle shirts, and they will get those and be wearing those very proudly, will that Welborn offensive line. Bringing it back here on After the Game on this football Friday night, joined now for the first time tonight by Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett. Guys, we were all over the place today. Coach and myself, we were down south. What a great atmosphere for high school football. The game we've been talking a lot about, number 3 and 5A Central Clay County at Volunteer Stadium in Clay County, playing host to number 5 and 4A, the Handley Tigers. Coach, just a great atmosphere tonight down in Clay County.
Yeah, they do a great job. Tommy Wood does a great job there as the PA
Pumps them
announcer.
up, yes.
I mean, it's just like being at a college football game, the way they do it, and they just do it first class. And it was a great atmosphere, both sides, great football game.
Chad, as you were about to go look at the highlights, at 7:20, I looked down at my phone, 7:20, they are still lined up, cars coming down the road to get a parking place. Standing room only down at Volunteer Stadium tonight. This was a game, Chad, in the first half, big plays by both teams, but the big plays were made by Central of Clay County. We're going to look at all of them right here.
Yeah, it's a great matchup that we've seen now for 11 years. Since the inception of Clay Central, they've faced off with Handley every year, with Central winning 8 of the 11. But they come into tonight's matchup looking for a little revenge because they lost last year's matchup to the Tigers. Let's go to the highlights and check out the big game that you guys just mentioned over the night, as we will check out the highlights for the Clay Central Tigers. This is obviously not the highlights. We can get into that. There we go. Here we go. We got the coin toss tonight. Vols, gotta love the old school uniform. I do love the way that pops out. We're gonna start off with the coin toss, and then Central's Clay or Darren Harris. 49-yard pass to Kevin Cherry for the pass down to the 1-yard line. That's going to set him up for a touchdown run. Darren Harris with that run. 7-0 Clay Central on top. Central Clay back on offense. Darren Harris now scrambling for 8 yards. 4th and 1, though. Central is going to be stopped short. Handley's defense really stiffening right there. Turnover on downs. Handley quarterback Cannon Kyle's 18-yard pass to Montravius Black. Looks like they're getting something going, but that Central defense would pop up here, knocking the fumble loose. Clay would recover. But this is kind of one of those situations. Nobody really knew who they wanted to ball. Bad snap on the Clay ensuing possession. Handley is going to recover this one down at the 29-yard line. Now Kyle's going to pass to Jay Williams, who's going to take it over the right side. Barrel his way down, almost loses the football. He's going to go down at the 1-yard line. Handley's E.J. Goss in there for the 1-yard score. Touchdown. PAT no good. 7-6 Central Clay. It was tight at this moment. But then, as you mentioned, John, the big plays would come into effect. Kevin Cherry going to take this back to the house. 82 yards for the touchdown. Big plays abound for the Vols in the first half, and they are up now 14-6 over Handley's. Coach Larry Strain looking on. Central Clay now back on offense. LaDamian Boyd, more big plays, this time for 60 to the house. Touchdown Vols. PAT is going to be good, so now it's 21-6 Central Clay. 4th and 1 for Handley. Big play by Kyle. Completes a 5-yard pass to Jay Williams for the first down, but then more tough luck here for Handley. This pass is going to be picked off by Trendon Glenn, returned down to the Handley 18-yard line. That would lead to a 4th down, 24-yard field goal by Aiden Young. 24-6 as time expires in the first half, and as we know, Clay Central would pull away to the win tonight against Handley, 31-6.
Good shot of head coach Danny Horn walking in at halftime, his team up 24-6. Coach, you were a guest on the pregame with our friends from Alabama 100.7 Radio. That's the voice of the Vols. Coach Jerry Weems, Rusty Taylor, you joined them. And tell the folks what you told them would be a key to the game, and you were very prophetic about it, what you said in the pregame.
Well, when we got to talking, they asked me, well, what do you think about the game? What do you think the keys to success is? I said, well, I know we're all talking about how they're going to rush the football and we're going to run the football, but I believe whoever can make just a couple of big pass plays may be the difference in the game. And if you look there, you saw that real early in the game, they come up with a 49-yard pass. It almost was a touchdown pass, you know, so I thought that was a big key to the ball game right there. And then, you know, I got some stats here, thanks to Rusty Taylor for getting these to me from that group. Clay Central, which I think they had to do, and you knew Danny Horn wanted to do this, they rushed for 257 yards tonight. They threw for 49. They threw 4 passes, and one of those was a complete, which I thought kind of opened the game up for them. So they had a total of 306. LaDamian Boyd, everybody thought, all right, running back last year, Terry Hippen, he's gone. What are we going to do? LaDamian Boyd tonight, 19 carries, 250 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's only a junior. He might be the next great back there at Central Clay. But then you can't forget Kevin Cherry. He was the one that had the long, almost a touchdown pass, a 49-yarder. Then he returns the kickoff for a touchdown. And then, to me, here's probably the key to the ball game. Defensively tonight,
and you know Coach Horn's got to be happy. They give up 63 yards rushing for the night, and if you force Handley into a throw in the football game, they threw it 18 times. They haven't thrown it hardly 18 times for the year. They were 7 for 18 for 72 yards. They only give up 135 yards tonight. And defensively, Kobe Johnston and Damari Whetstone at linebacker, I mean, you're starting to see Clay Central getting better and better and better. They're going to, what you probably saw tonight was 2 region champions, 1 in 4A, 1 in 5A, playing each other. I think Central Clay just played what I normally see, that Clay Central ball game. You know, Danny Horn can still win ball games, guys.
Run the ball, play some defense.
I came up to Coach right before they kicked that field goal for the half, and I said, defense wins games.
It does.
And it was exactly what happened tonight. You know, it's interesting, though, what we've seen. You would think with the success that Central Clay County has had, that year after year they'd probably get a little respect and people talking about them around the state. I mean, back-to-back championships in 18 and 19, but they began this year not even ranked in the top 10, but they proved again tonight, Coach, that even though people may forget about them, stuck over there in East Central Alabama out in the middle of a rural county, they are proving once again that they are not only one of the top teams in the state, they're one of the top programs in the state. And when you're making a preseason top 10 in 5A now, you've got to just about always include Clay Central in there.
You do, and what they've done is they've taken whatever they have, and that's what they do offensively. And you thought for a couple years there they were going to become a spread team. And they were a little bit that last year, but then all of a sudden, if you remember last year when we watched them play Alexandria, they got in the wishbone right there right before the half, and they come out in the second half and didn't throw a pass.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to do whatever they have to do to win ball games. It's not always going to look pretty, but who remembers it's got a W on there, and that's all that matters. So they're always going to do that, a great program. I love to watch them play because it is old school football. They still allow them to coach old school football. They get after it. The players get after it. And again, if you've never been to a game there, just go to one just to be around the atmosphere.
You think that's why they're kind of slept on? Because, I mean, obviously the history is not a problem. Right. Before they were split. Both massively successful on the lower level, and then they combine. And like you said, maybe it's kind of what some people would consider maybe a boring style because it's not flashy. You think that's why they sleep on them now still? And,
I think
and don't put them in those?
I think they sleep on them because Coach Horn is not going to allow anybody to think too highly of them because he's going to play them down that we're so bad, we can't run, we're slow. Mm-hmm. He's going to play them down, and eventually about game 5 is, well, guys, I guess we're all right.
Let's not forget, you were just a coach a couple years ago, and I distinctly remember the poor mouthing you did on your team. So let's not throw Danny in there. I mean, you were a master at poor mouthing your team.
We all grew up together, played softball together, so we learned how to do it.
There you go. Fair enough.
And I think another factor in that too, Chad, is the fact that, you know, I think during this course of spring and summer off season, the big media markets in Huntsville and Birmingham, Mobile, Montgomery, they're talking about the teams that are in their area. This team is not in one of those major markets, so they start coming up with who's going to be good. I just don't think it crosses people's mind that, hey, that team over there in Clay County is pretty good. Speaking of being pretty good, we're going to take a look our first time tonight as we go through our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. We're going to take a look at our 5A regions across East Alabama. We're going to begin in that region. Let's keep in mind Central of Clay County is in South Alabama. And so we tend to think most of our regions are in North Alabama. This region is in South Alabama. So we'll take a look at that right now if we can. Class 5A Region 4, so they're in the South. This is one of those really weird regions, guys, where there are only 6 teams in that region. So that means they have some extra non-region games. And this week, there were no region games played in this region. This Central Clay Handley game, that was a non-region game. So everybody in this region, guys, either had a non-region game or they had an open date this week.
And Central Clay has another non-region game next week, Alexandria. And for them, that's still, I heard them tonight, Horns already said, well, they're going to be the best team we played all year. So that's, we'll see.
And that will be the first time that Clay Central has ever visited Death Valley Lucasville Stadium out at Alexandria. Right now, no disrespect to Valley, but oh boy, Central Clay County is the odds-on favorite to win that region as we're here, really in essence at the midway point of the season. All right, guys, let's go ahead and now take a look at Class 5A Region 6 as we take a look at the other 5A region here. Southside undefeated, Leeds undefeated, Moody undefeated in region play. Chad, you saw the game last week between Lincoln and Alexandria. Lincoln fought hard tonight with Moody. Score really not indicative of how close that game was, but we're starting to see some separation, I think, in this region here at the midway point.
Yeah, I don't know what happened tonight, but I do think, because I think I've seen Lincoln 3 times now, and it's deciding on what you are going to be offensively has been kind of maybe the issue with them a little bit. If they can find that identity, I think they can probably move forward and make some things happen, because they've got some athletes over there.
Yeah, we go into non-region week next week for everybody in the state, and that's the way it looks at the halfway point in Class 5A Region 6. A lot of big games. I mean, Southside could make some noise. They have Leeds and Moody still to play, and then you've got folks like St. Clair County and Alexandria kind of bringing up the rear there. Springville, a big win tonight in beating Alexandria for the first time ever in school history. Well, when we come back, we're going to continue with high school football, Alabama. After the game, we got tons more highlights coming. We got coaches coming in. Head coach of the Pleasant Valley Raiders, Jonathan Nix, will be with us, and a whole lot more as we roll on a football Friday night.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Westbrook Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
USA Softball of Alabama brings you our scoreboard, and we've had a lot of scores tonight on that scoreboard on this football Friday night as we reach the midpoint of the season. USA Softball is the national governing body of softball in the United States. Since 1933, USA Softball has become one of the nation's largest and fastest growing sports organizations, growing from a few hundred teams to over 120,000 teams today. USA Softball represents a membership of more than 1 million across the United States. It's also a fast growing growing sport here in Alabama. They have their own website, usasoftballofalabama.com. You can also check out their Facebook page for information about tournaments going on this fall all across the state of Alabama. Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We are speaking now with the head football coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs. Sounds weird to say that. Coach Jonathan Miller here with us tonight.
Hey,
Coach Michael Short with us. Coach, tonight, a game at the Field of Champions. Ohatchee wins the game 38-21. This was a wild football game, keeping up with it in the fourth quarter. Kind of walk us through some of the things that happened in that wild fourth quarter. You've had some injuries too, also, I think, tonight.
Yeah, we've struggled with injuries. I think, you know, we had a big kickoff return to take the lead, 21-20, right at the beginning of the fourth, and we actually had them 3rd and 21 and couldn't get off the field. You know, so that was the turning point in the game. About 10 minutes to go, and we just couldn't make a play. We had 3 or 4 guys run the ball, and we didn't make a play. So give the kid from Ohatchee credit. You know, he went up and made a great play on the football. So they converted the first down, went on and scored a touchdown, and then they had onside kick and recovered it, scored again. So, and then we went pick 6. So it got out of hand there, and it was wild in the last 10 or 11 minutes or so. But you know, that kind of sums up our season so far. We're kind of a little snake bit with a lot of things, injuries being one of them, but you know, we've had trouble just making that one play, you know, to get over the hump in a game.
Coach, it's not like you've played an easy schedule. You've probably played as tough a schedule at the beginning here of probably any 3A team in the state in this first half of the season.
It's been tough, and you know, I think for us, replacing 9 guys on the offensive side of the ball, and we had one of the returners go out with injury tonight. So that's been a big challenge for us. And then playing the kind of schedule we played early on, we haven't had a chance to get a whole lot of confidence on that side of the ball. We played some really good football teams. So, and along with that, we're beat up. So, you know, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. You know, we got to continue to fight and come back to work on Monday.
Coach, I mean, I'm so impressed because I know, like you said, all the kids that you had to replace. And you talk about, well, we didn't get that play, we didn't make that play. Those kids hadn't been in that position before. So all you fans out there understand, these kids are learning how to play. Yeah, it's Piedmont, I understand that.
That's right.
But they're guys that ain't done it before. And now they're getting a chance, and you don't have that one game where you can walk out there and say, all right, guys, we can kind of do a little bit and score a lot and get confidence. And that's probably your biggest job right now is keeping those kids confident.
We do. We got to remain confident, and you know, I think we built a little last week with a road win at Plainview, and we got rolling tonight. I felt pretty good at halftime. We had 3 pretty good drives in the first half. First drive, we dropped a surefire touchdown pass in the end zone and didn't convert on 4th down, so we didn't score on that one. And then we scored. You know, we went down the field, you know, and had 2 nice drives, and then had an injury that hurt us right before halftime. That kind of took the wind out of ourselves a little bit, and we came out of the 3rd quarter and we didn't execute very well. So, and then we had the wild 4th quarter. So, you know, it's crazy because we are just, you know, a couple plays here and there in the game away from, you know, turning the thing in our favor. And, you know, we got to do a better job, especially when it's 3rd and 21. We got to get off the field, you know. So.
Coach, I don't know if people really understand this, the average football fan, but especially at the 3A level, playing in a small town, small school like Piedmont is, literally when you have like injuries like you're talking about, especially to key players, that's a total season and game changer. It can be, because you're not a Hoover, you're not a Thompson where you're sitting there with, you know, 40 or 50 or 60 guys that can play. I mean, this is small town 3A football, and so injuries are even more devastating at a small school level than they are even for the big schools.
Yeah, if you get the wrong guys hurt, it sets you back, and there's no doubt. So,
and if it's a 2-way player.
And if it's a 2-way player,
that's right. It even worse.
That's right. So, you know, it's 2 key guys. You know, missed. You know, one Raleigh Pinto got hurt right before halftime tonight. He was having a big game. You know, we came into the game, we were going to feed Raleigh tonight. You know, and you know, he had a nice game. We had some crisp, clean, well-executed drives, and then, you know, he goes out right before halftime, and then, you know, we didn't do very well the rest of the game. So, And Trevor Pike, we've missed him a couple weeks here. We think we may get him back here pretty soon. So he's one of our best defensive players and can probably help us on the offensive side some. So he's a key guy that we need to get back in the mix. And we definitely missed him. And you know, we've lost an offensive lineman for the season and an H-back. So you know, that's part of it. There are some seasons where, you know, I've had personally where there's nothing that goes wrong. I mean, you know how it goes. Nothing that's going right. If it can go wrong, it goes wrong. And so far, that's been our season. You know, so.
Hey, Coach, you open up, to be honest with you, the team that may represent 4A in the North, the team that couldn't represent 3A in the North, and it doesn't get any easier. You got a short week. You got a Thursday game coming up. You got a very talented Anniston team coming in for a non-region game. So just kind of the short week now and getting ready for Anniston on Thursday.
Well, the big thing we got to forget this week, we got to forget what's happened up to this point, but understand what got us in this situation. You know, so you know, we challenged the kids before we left to come with a good mindset on Monday. We got to get to work, and it's a short week and quality opponent. And it seems like every time we turn around, we're playing a quality opponent. So, you know, it is what it is. We got to make the best of it, next man up mentality, and go out and try to win a football game.
Well, you know what they say, what don't kill you can only make you better.
That's right. And, you know, look, I've been through worse, but it's magnified being at Piedmont, obviously. But I've definitely been through worse. So.
Yeah, but I want to commend you because it's not everybody, Coach, would have took that job.
Right.
And you stepped out on faith and took that job, and I commend you for that. I
appreciate that.
I mean, I really thought highly of you when you took that job because a lot of people went and said, "I just stay where I'm at."
Right.
You know, I just stay there.
Expectations are high, but they should be, and that's we're not going to run from that. We're not going to hide from that, and that's okay. You know, I want to be at a place that's got a chance to compete for championships.
Coach, that's what you're after.
That's right.
Coach, before we let you get out of here, I know you got a short week, so you got short time to prepare, so we're not going to keep you long. I do want to always end on a positive note tonight. I want to ask you about, I know you grew up in this county, Alexandria, coaching at Sachs. You lived in this county all your life. Went to school here, college here, all those kind of things. So you know about Piedmont, and you've known about Piedmont your entire life from the time that you were born. But having been at Piedmont now for a few months, what is it about the community, the town, maybe, not football related, not school related, what maybe surprised you about Piedmont that you didn't know, something good about the Piedmont community that maybe like, wow, I didn't realize this about Piedmont?
Well, I knew that there was a lot of support, but it's just overwhelming. You know, people just want to pitch in and do what they can to help the program, or, you know, whether it's feeding our kids on Thursday morning or whatever the case may be. Just everybody's willing to pitch in and do something, and that's what makes the community special. It's been, I've enjoyed my time there. You know, I wish the season could have started out a little bit better, but you know, I really have enjoyed it, and glad I made the move.
So I got quick.
Yes.
I got to ask you this, because I've been a part of it. Do they still cook out there before the ball game?
They do.
You know the answer to
Club.
that, Coach.
I mean, it's good too.
I was going to say, so you've been out there and tried it?
It's
That's
top
right.
notch.
And done the pig yet? They baked the pig in the ground?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll let you know when that happens.
Yeah, and about the pork, what is it?
Pork loin taco.
Pork loin tacos.
Yes,
all right.
It's good.
Yeah, they do it right back there.
They do it right. You won't lose weight, Coach.
Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Best wishes the rest of the way. Hope
Thank you.
your players get better as well. Want to wish them the best wishes in getting healed up and getting well. And we'll be out there on Thursday night for the Anniston game.
All right, sounds good.
Jonathan Miller, head coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs, our guest tonight here live on High School Football Alabama's After the Game. We're here from the RMC Media Center on Quintard Avenue in Anniston at Parker Memorial Baptist Church. Coach, a part of our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. We'll be back with more scores, highlights. Jonathan Nix, head coach of the Pleasant Valley Raiders, will be in the house. All of that as we roll on this Football Friday night.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
It's a football Friday night. Cutter's Pizzeria, 2 locations, Highway 78 Oxford, U.S. Highway 431 in Alexandria. Go to cutterspizzeria.com. Folks, let me just tell you, they have a 5-pound thick and cheesy and full of topping pie pizza. It is their customer favorite. They have 7 different styles of pizza. Take you back here to our RMC Media Center hospitality room here at Parker Memorial. I had some of that pepperoni. I had some of that. That's got bacon and pepperoni and sausage on it. Here's another piece of pizza, another pie that has some vegetables on it, a little bit of meat there. I think I tried all of that tonight. Coach Jonathan Nix of the Pleasant Valley Raiders is back there. He's taking some of that and participating. We got Coach Miller's back there with his son. They're out there. They're getting some of that pizza tonight. Thanks to the fine folks at Cutter's Pizzeria for giving us the pizza, and they feed our staff. You see both Coach Nix and Coach Miller back there, and they are partaking of the pizza tonight here in our hospitality room at the RMC Media Center here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Anniston. Let's talk about our Farmers and Merchants Player of the Week this week. And our Player of the Week this week was not only the Player of the Week here in East Alabama, he was also the Player of the Week for the entire state of Alabama, the Alabama High School Athletic Association Prep Spotlight. He was the Prep Spotlight Player of the Week. Cherokee County's Jacob Corneo. Let me just tell you, 420 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns in that monumental 49-21 win last Friday night over the Aniana Redskins at Bobby Joe Johnson Field in Center. A fantastic player, and I think we have a picture there of him getting not only the plaque that he gets from Farmers and Merchants Bank, but also he has a jersey, a custom jersey that Team Sports gives to him with his name on the back. He was presented that today, as a matter of fact. Maybe it was yesterday, I think, when they presented that to, and we don't have that for some reason, but nonetheless, he was presented that. Bobby Tittle, the principal at Cherokee County High School, presenting that to him. And also we had Neil Compton from the new branch at Farmers and Merchants Bank there in Center, presenting that to Jacob Corneo. Now, let's talk a little bit about, as we move on, we're going to talk about the concession stand of the week. That's why we bring Coach Michael Short here. Now, we got to set this up. Our concession stand of the week brought to you by Johnson's Giant Food. Every one of our concession stands of the week gets a $100 gift certificate from Johnson's Giant Food. 5 locations to serve you in Etowah and Calhoun counties: Jacksonville, Coldwater, East Gadsden, Attala, downtown Gadsden. And our concession stand of the week is the Alexandria A Club. Now, Coach, you were not with us for this one. Don Wilson was here, but I don't know that Don had a Valley Dog, but you had your first Valley Dog last year on the show, right?
I did.
Todd Ginn brought us some Valley Dogs.
Coach Ginn brought us some, and
Jonathan Miller.
Coach Miller was in there eating some of those last year,
those last year as well. He's well versed in the Valley Dog. So we're going to take you out now to Lou Scales Stadium, Death Valley in Alexandria. The Alexandria A Club, our concession stand of the week for this week.
This is the Alexandria Valley A Club concession stand, our Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week. And it's no mystery what the item is going to be in Death Valley. It is the area-wide, is not statewide famous Valley Dog. Don Wilson with us tonight here at Alexandria. I'm going to unwrap that baby tonight. Don, you've had these before, right?
I have, John. This is the most iconic thing out here. Just let me add, Coach Short, I'd love to wait on you this evening, but time is of the essence, so.
With the special secret sauce. Only behind Coca-Cola and KFC is the special Valley Dog sauce, so dive in. He took about half of that one bite. Good as ever?
This thing gets better every year, John. This is tremendous.
The Valley Dog here at Alexandria with the A Club. The Alexandria A Club will receive a $100 gift certificate courtesy of Johnson's Giant Food.
Coach, you see them selling. They're making the money. They're selling those Valley Dogs. They had a whole container. You'll see this here. Look right back over there in the corner, and they've got stacks of Valley Dogs. So if you go out to a game at Lou Scales Stadium, that's on the home side there underneath the press box. I will promise you, even as popular as the Valley Dogs are, as they're preparing one right there, Coach, I know you're salivating. They will not run out.
Jordan's letting me down. He's supposed to bring me one, but he hadn't yet. But we could make a lot of money if we knew what was in that crock pot right now.
That, as I said before, that's right up there with Coca-Cola and KFC as far as secret recipes go, is the Valley Dog out at Alexandria. Congratulations to the Alexandria A Club, as they are our concession stand of the week. At the end of the year, you're going to get to vote for all of our concession stands of the week on our High School Football Alabama Facebook page for the concession stand of the year. They'll get a nice plaque to go up in their concession stand, proclaiming it as the concession stand of the week. So you're not out of this yet. You still got some more tastings to do as we move through the season.
You're right, and there's been some good ones so far.
We have had some good ones. Ted's Floors and Beyond bringing you our team of the week. Great sponsors of High School Football Alabama after the game. And the reason it's Floors and Beyond is because it is Floors and Beyond. They now offer cabinets from Wellborn Cabinet. They have complete kitchen and bathroom makeovers, a large selection of products, hundreds of in-stock items, cabinets, countertops, in addition to hardwood and tile and carpet, all of that. 0% financing for 12 months, all day, every day. Free in-home estimates. Great folks, they'll take good care of you. ShopTeds.com is the place to go. Time for our next Red Threads Extra Point of the night. Cherokee County, we just saw him, Jacob Corneo. He rushed for 420 yards in last week's 49-21 win over Indiana. We told you that. What we didn't tell you is he became only the 3rd player in the state in this decade to rush for over 400 yards in a game. Cherokee County is also only the 3rd school in state history to have multiple players rush for more than 400 yards in a game. Coach, I'm getting so old, and you are too, I guess. I remember the night this happened. The Warriors' Michael Perry ran for 457 yards against Hoax Bluff back when I was just getting a start in this business back in 1991. I was doing a scoreboard on WGAD in Gadsden on AM radio that night. And you got to see.
I coached against him, and we didn't slow him down either.
Michael Perry joining up with Jacob Corneo. And that's our Red Threads Extra Point. We come back. Head coach of the undefeated Pleasant Valley Raiders, Jonathan Nix, joins us on After the Game.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number. You're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
High school football Alabama is presented again in 2023 by your Calhoun County Commission. Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson supporting all our schools, not just the Calhoun County school system schools like Pleasant Valley, but also all the schools in the county, Anniston, Donahoe, Jacksonville, Oxford, Piedmont, all the schools in the county doing great projects for them, all the great parks. Danny Shears was with us last week talking about a lot of the great improvements they have coming to parks around the county. Calhoun County Commission doing great things again in 2023 for the folks here in Calhoun County. We are joined now on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, by the head coach of the aforementioned Pleasant Valley Raiders, Coach Jonathan Nix. Might I add, the undefeated Pleasant Valley Raiders coach. Welcome in. Yeah. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Oh,
Undefeated
it sounds great.
Pleasant Valley Raiders.
I like it. It sounds
first time in school history that Pleasant Valley has ever been 4-0, and you're on a 6-game winning streak. Coach, can't get much better right now at PV.
That's right. That's right. Just, very proud of the coaches, the players, and our community. Raider Stadium was packed tonight. Student section did a great job. The band, cheerleaders. It's just overall is a great atmosphere. It's such a buzz right now in our community and our school, and not only in football and all our extra sports. So just it's a great time to be a Raider.
And Coach, not only are you undefeated overall, more importantly, you're now 2-0, undefeated in Class 2A Region 6 play. So you're undefeated in region play. And I know you don't want to talk about this just yet, but a playoff berth is certainly in the picture now for Pleasant Valley.
We're 3-0 in the region. 3-0 in the region. So don't take any from us.
Yes. Holly Pond. Yes.
Region wins are hard to come by.
Holly Pond and West End.
For sure.
And tonight against Cleveland.
That's right. So, it's exciting to be 3-0, and I want our players and our fans and all that to enjoy that. And then, we go non-region next week with hosting Raglan, and then we're back in region play with Locust Fort.
It's a exciting time, and I know really you've been building for this for a long time. You're a guy that I know is a patient guy. You believe in not just building a team. You believe in building a program, and that's exactly what you've been doing these last several years at Pleasant Valley, building this program to where it's not just a one-year good team, but where you got a program that's good and competitive every year.
Well, what I love about this team is just their love for each other. That they have excellent preparation during the week. They're fun to coach during the week. They like to dive into, hey, what makes us better, Coach? They don't want to just look at the good stuff and the highlights. They want to dig in there and say, hey, how can I improve? And the coaches have a phenomenal coaching staff that I'm, lucky to be a part of, that us to work together. And so, when you've got those coaches wanting to come in on Sunday and us spending that time and with preparation, and then the players buying into that preparation during the week, it's exciting to see great things happen to them on Friday night. There's so much work that goes in with any staff to try to get to Friday night. And so, but at the end of the time, there's only one team that can collect a paycheck each Friday night. And so I'm so excited that our kids are making the most of their opportunities this year and getting some of those paychecks.
Coach, I'm excited for your community and your team, but I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
I've watched you for a long time. We used to get to do some 7-on-7, some summer work together, and your kids have always worked extremely hard. So if anybody deserves for good things to happen to them, you and your team and your community, you really deserve that. So here's my question after I said that.
All right.
How is, I always ask this of every coach because a lot of people just don't talk about it, but coaches love to talk about it. Give me an idea about how your kicking game has gotten, because how many games are won and lost just by your kicking game?
Oh, there's no doubt. And right now, we have a phenomenal kicker. Clark Hill, last week he kicks a 37-yard field goal to beat Holly Pond. Tonight he was 3 for 3 on extra points. And so, and he did some great things on kickoff. Like their kickoff return team, their average starting position was about the 45-yard line. Cleveland's more of a ball control type deal. And so, you've got to stay ahead of the change. You can't let them get big gains on first down. But a lot of it is field position. So kickoff team did a great job tonight, and Clark Hill was a lot of the reason of that. And then those cover guys was able to get down there and get us some great field position. And it helped us get off the field early in the game.
That's to have that kind of guy is just you don't know how lucky you are, especially in your classification. A lot of those guys, it's a struggle just to kick and to get them off. So if you got that kind of kicker, you got a great advantage.
And then Braxton Salster, he comes in there on a, we have a little quick kick that we run out of a deuce formation. And, it's kind of one of those situations where if you don't know where we're going for it or not, and sometimes at midfield we might use that. And he's able to pin them inside the 10 twice using that quick kick option. And that just set up the defense for, great field position. So he did a great job doing our punting. And then Clark was able to punt a couple of times also tonight. So, our special teams, I think, tonight was, it was definitely a good phase of our game.
I want to ask you something that I've always been intrigued by watching. I'm friends with you on social media too, and you're always sharing stuff that y'all do as a team. Well, give us an idea, and you're talking about how special this team is. Give me an idea about this summer. maybe some of the things that y'all have done maybe in the past
Yeah.
that have made this team so close to each other?
Well, we do a team camp, usually about a week before football season starts, and we try to have them overnight. We used to go somewhere, but now we do it inside our weight room, and so we're able to take more of that money that they're paying for their camp, and then be able to go to like big time entertainment or go take them kayaking or something like. And a lot of times, this is some of our players. This is their summer vacation, and not only that, it's just there's so much friendships that's made on those trips like that. Now it's grueling because we still got practice and we still do that stuff there, but they're getting to spend time with each other, and you can tell a lot about a team when they start. Hey, you're starting to be with them for 36 to 48 hours, and everybody's kind of ill and cranky, but can you pull together in those situations? And we saw that last week at Holly Pond where things didn't go our way. So many things did not bounce our way, and it was a road and sometimes when you're playing on the road, a lot of things can be stacked against you, and then all of a sudden we have to have a play, and then we have our defense that comes up huge, and Hunter Sparks gets an interception, kind of seals the game.
And you can use that experience later on down the line. That's going to happen again somewhere, and you've already had experienced that, so that's the positive for you.
There's no doubt. There's one thing that this team harps on all the time is last year we lost so many games in the last possession. Like we looked at the Locust Fork game last year, and we had 7 or 8 opportunities. If we'd have just made the most of any of these opportunities, we would have had that upset. And then we lost to Southeastern at the end of the game. Last year, 7-0. That was one of those that we had so many opportunities, but we just didn't finish on them. And it's so important for a team when those opportunities are given to you. Can you make the most of that opportunity and go finish? And so it just seems like there's a calm, like when everything is rattled, there's a calm nature with our team this year of like which one of us is about to make this play to finish the game.
Coach, when you can figure out what all that is and you can bottle it up, let me know.
Oh, yeah. We don't have it figured out, but I can tell you this, it is fun to see players leading players and being excited about it, and coaches being a part of that right there.
That's right.
We are on our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser, speaking with the head coach of the undefeated Pleasant Valley Raiders. We'll say that again, Coach Jonathan Nix. Coach, let's talk a little bit about region play now. We alluded to that for the playoffs. We're going to look at our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. We're going to take a look at both of our 2A regions here in East Alabama. We'll begin in the South, 2A Region 4. You don't have to worry about any of these guys unless you make it to Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. But just looking at that, B.B. Comer had that big win last night over Vincent, 36-0. It's looking more and more likely like B.B. Comer is the team to beat in South Alabama. Thorsby 3-0 had a win tonight. Isabella, big win over Fayetteville. Ranburne, win over Woodland tonight. But B.B. Comer really there at the top of 2A Region 4. So let's now move into your region, 2A Region 6, and look right there at the top, Pleasant Valley 3-0. Southeastern is also undefeated in region play. Been a lot of buzz in the offseason about Locust Fork. Coach, tell us about your aspect and your view of 2A Region 6.
Well, I think it's it's a tough region, and each week, if you don't bring your A game, you can be beat by any of these teams. There's some phenomenal coaches in this region, and and a region game is so special because it advances you on into the playoffs, and it's for seeding. So you have to take each region game, like it is a playoff atmosphere. And so, these are some very good teams. I know our next region game is Locust Fork. So far as, the rest of them goes, the only region game that I'm concerned about right now is Locust Fork because it's our next one. We've got Raglan in our non-region, which that's our next game. But as far as our next region game for seeding for the playoffs is Locust Fork.
Coach Short, I don't want Coach Nix to hear me say this, but that Locust Fork Pleasant Valley game, it might be for a region title.
I kind of agree with him.
That was me and Coach Short having this conversation, Coach.
We just take it one game at a time.
One game at a time.
Right.
All right, Coach, we always have a fun question before we let you get out of here. A couple of years ago, I was out at Pleasant Valley to present an award to your team, and you invited me to eat. We always talk about food over here. Yeah. You invited me to eat post-game meal with you down the lunchroom. And your lunchroom ladies had made an unbelievable meal. And I'll tell you, going back to your days at Raglan, used to go out to Hardin's Chapel Bible Church.
That's it.
And those ladies out there were making,
man.
oh my gosh, Coach, you just can't even imagine. So my question is, do the lunchroom ladies there at Pleasant Valley still do your pregame meal for you?
Well, this year we're having to do another option with our pregame meal. So this week, Ron's Barbecue in Alexandria fixed some hamburger steaks for the kids, and I'm just telling you. You know, they were tearing it up. So, you know, our booster club is kind of helping run that. And so, you know, we had several of them that come in and set that up for the players today. So we're really appreciative of them, you know, of going to pick that up for us. And we appreciate Ron's Barbecue for everything they've done for us. And
Ron's and
you know,
Cutters,
look,
they're co-sponsors.
Yes,
One week we have Cutters, and the next week we have Ron's Barbecue. So we had Ron's last week. We'll have Ron's coming back next week. Great supporters of high school football. I guess my question is, your philosophy on pregame meals, because I don't know that I've ever had a coach or a school wherever he's been at Ragland and at Pleasant Valley who throws out a better pregame meal than Jonathan Nix does. So is that something that you kind of you think about and kind of plan? How much thought goes into the pregame
Well, I think there's
meal?
a lot of it. Now, we also do victory meals, and so when we first, you know, got to Pleasant Valley, we started thinking, hey, look, the average win per year is only, you know, it's like less than two a year, and like we want to make it a big deal every time we win. So, you know, we watch film on Monday when we first come in, and so, you know, after a win, like we're going to have a victory meal at some point. And so we had some dads do some grilled pork chops for us one week. And so it's kind of like we've done hot wings before with them. And so sometimes it's pizza. But, you know, on a win like this, I know that our booster club's going to be excited about it, and they're going to feed the players. And the players appreciate that.
Is this Monday?
It's Monday.
This coming Monday?
Well,
I haven't seen y'all practice yet, have I?
I'm hearing about a fish fry.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you.
Clean the freezer out, right?
Yeah. And let me,
Coach Nix, when he starts asking questions about when and where, you better get ready.
Yeah, you be ready. Let me one comment, and I know you got to go. You've done a great job of having to teach these kids how to get through adversity. You know what you got to do now? You got to teach them how to get through success.
That's right. There's
That's
no doubt.
going to be your biggest thing.
There's no doubt. And we've talked to that with the players. Like, I think a lot of times, you know, I've been on teams that were 10-0, and I've been on teams that were 0-10. And sometimes, you know, success, you have to make sure that the players, coaches, everybody understands how did you get from there. So it's preparation. And so sometimes, you know, the heads can swell up, but you got to make sure that everything's shrunk down, and you go back to the process and you look. Because nowadays with huddles, you can pick 20 clips and you can make a team look good or you can make a team look bad. So there is going to be 20 clips that we're going to have to go back and work on. I mean, but it's always better to watch those 20 clips with a good meal.
Yes, a good
and
meal.
A win.
I may have to come watch some of your video Monday.
Yeah.
Pleasant Valley is eating well, and they are playing well. Head coach of the Raiders, Jonathan Nix, with us on After the Game. Coach, thank you for being with us. Congratulations on the big win tonight. Let's tell you about team sports. We've been taking a look at team sports highlights. You saw some highlights there at Pleasant Valley. We'll see some more Pleasant Valley highlights a little bit later on. Team sports out at McClellan, they are very close to opening up their public store out on the fort, 135 Exchange Avenue at McClellan. They've been in business since 2008, 15 years now, locally owned, family operated, and they can provide all your sporting goods needs. They have apparel and jerseys, accessories, scorebooks, jerseys, basketball goals, tackling dummies. They've got it all. They service over 100 schools here in the state of Alabama with things like Under Armour and Wilson, Rawlings, Rydell, The Game, all the name brands. Team Sports bringing you our team sports highlights on these football Friday nights. Back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated. Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Wellberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, a place to use the gifts and talents God has given you, a place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Aniston. Visit our website for details.
We have been talking about food a lot tonight. We're going to continue. Johnson's Giant Food bringing you our concession stand of the week, and there is no one that does tailgating better than Johnson's Giant Food. They have the smoked meats. They have fried chicken, chicken fingers, chicken salad, salad, bread, everything you need in their deli. They also have the best selection and the top quality meats here in East Alabama, and everything else you need for a perfect tailgate. So you're going to Tuscaloosa tomorrow, homecoming at Jack State, or just a tailgate around your house. You Auburn fans, maybe in the morning watching that Texas A&M game, go out to Johnson's Giant Food. 5 locations to serve you in East Alabama: Jacksonville, Coldwater, East Gadsden, Attala, and downtown Gadsden. Johnson's Giant Food. Back on high school football, Alabama after the game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Back with Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett. Tonight, a monumental game. Legendary coaches tonight. Yes. Basically, we got all kinds of legendary coaches on your circuit tonight. We'll talk more about that as we jump in. But one of the games tonight that you were checking out was at Mike Robertson Stadium over at Hoax Bluff. And, of course, he's the head coach of the Hoax Bluff Eagles. You know, when you have a stadium named after you already, you've done well. He's already in the State High School Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. He's in the Etowah County Sports Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. And then you got on the other sideline, Westbrook Christian got Steve Smith. He's not in any Hall of Fames yet, but I was counting the other day, and he could be in as many as 5 before it's over with, and probably will be in at least 3 or 4 Hall of Fames before it's over with. So, and we'll talk about this other legendary set of coaches in your other games coming up tonight. But Hoax Bluff and Westbrook Christian, I believe maybe we have that video ready to go. And we're ready to go now. Hoax Bluff and Westbrook at Mike Robertson Stadium.
Right, Mike Robertson Stadium, and it's not usual when you get both head coaches each coming in with a state championship, so definitely a good helmet game as well. Big matchup though in Class 3 of Region 6. Both teams already with a loss in region play. couldn't really afford another one before the midpoint of the season. So let's go and take a look at the highlights and see who would prevail tonight as a big-time matchup would come down to the wire, the Warriors and Eagles. We're going to start it off with Westbrook on offense, and the Hoax Bluff defense would stuff them 3 and out on the first drive, playing motivated to begin with. But same with Westbrook. Hamza Alabasi with a big stick on first down, but this would not last long. 4th down, they're going to go for it. Early in the game, Bryce Whitaker down inside the 5 to Anderson Morgan. Sets him up for a 1st and goal. Blake Barron would take it from here as he would waltz in untouched for the touchdown, and Hoax Bluff would take the lead 7-0 at that time. Westbrook, though, we saw LaMichael Mitchell in a big touchdown against Ohatchee a few weeks back. He ignites the Warriors offense here as well for about a 60-yard touchdown. 7-6 now. Westbrook is on top. But ensuing kickoff, Hoax Bluff would make something happen yet again. They kick it deep to Morgan, and he was a big threat in the passing game and a big threat here on the kicking game as well. Taking all that momentum away from Westbrook, returns it back to midfield. That would get him set up with a nice first down. Deep shot. There's going to be a flag on the field. Guess who doesn't like it? That's head coach Steve Smith. He's given an earful to the back judge, and it didn't turn out well for him on that play. Didn't get to see it, but he didn't like the flag. Next play, Philip Carter. He's going to take it 25 yards in for the touchdown. So massive big plays for Hoax Bluff. They are on top 14-7. You talked about Coach Mike Robertson. He's been pacing these sidelines for decades now for Hoax Bluff. Seen a lot of wins because they get a lot of turnovers, and they get one here too on the ensuing kickoff. That's going to be coughed up. Hoax Bluff would recover. I was actually on my way out the door here on this one. I was trying to ease my way down to Glencoe. And then I came back. I said, I got to see if we got more. And Morgan is going to climb the ladder and make a big play, double covered. He's in there for the touchdown. Hoax Bluff with a commanding 21-7 lead before we took off before the end of the first quarter. And they would go on to win the night. As you mentioned, a big shocker tonight. Not just that they won, it's 47-21. That's what we're all kind of surprised about. Eagles with a big win.
Coach, Chad, what I was alluding to here, take people a little bit behind the curtain, behind the scenes. I can't tell you how many times, and this has happened to you many times, where we're at games, we're getting ready to go to the next game because we're trying to cover 2 games in one night. And as we are walking out of the stadium, there's usually a pick six or a long touchdown pass or some kind of big play that happens in the game as we're walking out of the stadium.
I attribute it sort of like this. Everybody that's had kids before, I've got a 2-year-old right now at home. It's like when you lay them down in bed, you kind of ease in your way to the door, just kind of making sure. And then once you clear, you're good to go. But tonight, I was on the way out. I was almost to the back gate. That's why I had that angle. And then once that fumble was coughed up, I was like, I ran back down there and got the touchdown. So,
Coach Short, we were at the Etowah County Media Day, and we talked with Coach Rob and folks around Etowah County, and the buzz was kind of, this is going to be a really good Hoax Bluff team. They played Southside. Things didn't go their way. Of course, they're playing up, 2 classes, a 3A play versus a 5A. But I think we're seeing tonight what all the buzz was about with Hoax Bluff.
Well, the buzz was everybody else talking about Hoax Bluff.
Not Coach Rob.
No, Coach Rob's a whole lot like that other guy we talked about earlier, and Coach Horn just playing it way down. But it's the same thing. It's the same offense. It's the same defense, and the kids are playing hard. But Coach Rob, if you're watching, their field looks unbelievable. They always have a great turf. Yeah. You can tell that he takes great care of it, and I would be the one that would notice that pretty turf, because in today's, fake turf all over the place, he's got some great looking grass.
Man, I love the natural grass, and his is well
phenomenal.
Done. Yeah, it's well done.
And we're already looking at, they practiced on it and played on it, so it still looks great.
Yeah. What do you think about this? I mean, they've made the playoffs since 2019, so it's a bit of a drought for Hoax Bluff. They're not used to this. So I know they had a big run from 16 to say 19, but this is maybe the year they kind of come back and maybe garner some of that strength that they've had been known for quite
Chad,
some time.
if in this region, if you're one of the top 4 to come out of this region, you're going to have a lot of success in the playoffs. There's not going to be anything when you get in those 3A playoffs in the North that you haven't seen once you get into that. Now, speaking of playoffs, we're going to switch classifications. We're going to go back to our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundowns coming up, Class 6A now. And there was some monumental action tonight that happened in Class 6A Region 6. Mainly, the Oxford Yellow Jackets. We thought early in the season that they could be 4-0 going into the Pinson Valley game, and then they dominate Pinson Valley tonight at Willie Adams Stadium, 40-6. They beat Pinson Valley. So Oxford is now undefeated overall, undefeated in region play. Huge non-region game next week. This may be as big as a region game next week for Oxford going to Hartselle, because to be honest with you, Hartselle came in last year on homecoming and they embarrassed Oxford. It was 69-21, I think was the final score in that game. Things just totally got away from Oxford in the second half. Oxford is, I'll promise you, had Hartselle circled for a long time, making that trip to Hartselle.
Did Hartselle beat Gadsden City tonight, though?
Hartselle beat Gadsden City 31-28 tonight. Yeah. But that region right there, we've talked about it. It looks like that Oxford Clay Chalkville game is now going to be winner take all, guys.
At Oxford.
Yes,
that'll be the big advantage for Oxford, is playing at Oxford, because I know the size disadvantage won't be close. Clay Chalkville will bring a lot larger people. But Oxford's strength is out on the perimeter.
This is going to be a heck of a game. A lot of talent on that field, a lot of young talent for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. And we mentioned Gadsden City, Class 6A Region 8. Our man Charlie Hinkle putting together these graphics tonight, telling me that these are all either open dates or non-regions tonight in Class 6A Region 8. And every team lost tonight that played in Class 6A Region 8. But there's 1-0 on the board on the loss column, and that's Gadsden City. They're still undefeated in region play. And a good showing tonight up at Hartselle against a good team, lost by 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, going to there and playing that close, that's even though they lost, to me that's a positive for them that they can use going forward.
And Gadsden City gets no easier, going to Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa next week for another non-region game. That's our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. We'll be back. We've got more as we roll on to this Football Friday night. More highlights, more region rundowns. We got Team of the Week coming up, our East Alabama Top 10, and a whole lot more as after the game rolls on this Football Friday night.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I can instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Westbrook Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
In just about 8 hours, the Saturday morning sports clinic at Anniston Orthopedics will be open. It's every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. You can see an orthopedic doctor, get x-rays if needed. Most importantly, get back on the field as soon as possible. Well, this is the longest standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama. Anniston Orthopedics, 6 highly skilled, kind, and experienced physicians. Dr. Vandervoort, Dwayne Tippett, Dr. Dwayne Michael Tippett, Dr. Hardy, Dr. Wiedmer, Dr. Morris, sports medicine trainers, Sean Seeger, Jessica Martin. They're on the sidelines every week at local high school games. They are continuing at Anniston Orthopedics to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics also bringing you those great score shirts every week for our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. Well, we are back on high school football Alabama after the game on this football Friday night as we head towards midnight. Michael Short, Chad Barnett with us here on this football Friday night. Chad, you were over at Glencoe, Wilson, Darnell Field. We've been talking about legendary coaches. I think we can put Glencoe coach Scott Martin into that.
Absolutely.
Baldy Wilson and Lyle Darnell, who the stadium's named after, legendary coaches. And then a guy named Dale Pruitt on the other sideline.
Pretty good.
And his son, Jeremy Pruitt.
Yes.
Former head coach at Tennessee, a defensive coordinator at Alabama, Florida State, Georgia, Hoover High School down through the years.
New York Giants.
New York Giants. So more legends in Etowah County as far as coaching tonight.
Yeah, cool thing about it too is, I mean, he's high school first. That's where he started and then worked his way up. And now he's back here in high school. So we will talk about that here in a minute. But tonight was a game about 2 teams that come in with identical records. Both got the season started off with a win, but both matched it up with 2 losses back-to-back, both in region play. So the question is, who's going to get their first win in the region play tonight? So let's go out to Glencoe and check out the highlights we got here at about 7:24 to go in the first half. And, you know, we don't give enough love to the punt game. And I tell you, I tried to get his number and I couldn't, but it is a beautiful punt. This is going to pin Plainview down at the 2-yard line, maybe inside that down to the 1. This would set up for an opportunity for points for Glencoe. That's why I showed it. Glencoe's defense would stiffen up down there, force the 3 and out. Cade Seagrass with a big stop on the quarterback, and then Glencoe is on offense. Brady Kitchens. Now they get the ball at midfield because of that good field position. Nice tackle right there, but they held on to the ball. Kitchens back again with another first down pass as they just get it past the sticks. And then Kitchens finds Wade Seagrass for another first down for Glencoe, and they're inside the 15-yard line. But Plainview would bow up here. Kitchens back to pass. It's going to be picked off. Just did not see that middle linebacker. It's going to go back to the 25-yard line. That takes us to halftime. Score 13-0 is still homecoming tonight. Always a beautiful thing for the high school kids. This homecoming queen, his name is Abby Bunt. She's crowned tonight, so congratulations to Mrs. Bunt. Which, by the way, I'll be missing a couple weeks from now because my daughter will be on the homecoming court at White Plains. So how about that? So congratulations to Mrs. Bunt. Now we go to the second half highline. There you see the coaches, both Pruitts there in view. Just very cool to see both of them. Plainview on offense, and I tell you, this is a bulldozer, man. Michael Lopez, he is hard to bring down, wide load, and he gets him big there for the first down. And then Plainview would go over the left side this time. Brady Hodge in there for the touchdown. They're going to go for 2 because it's 20-0 right now, trying to make it a clean 3-touchdown lead. And they're going to drop back to pass. This time they're going to hit the 2-point conversion in there and good. So the score is 21-0, and Glencoe is trailing. And there you see Coach Pruitt, and I just wanted to show this for about 20 seconds because what I love to see is, you know, he lost his stature a little bit from where he was, but you didn't tell tonight because he was coaching up like he was on an SEC field tonight. He was passionate. He loved every bit of it, and he was getting after it. I just love to see somebody like that that just continues to be passionate about what they do. But His defense would hold for 0 points through the first 3 quarters. That's as long as we would stay. This would be a turnover on downs for Glencoe. Plainview back on offense, and you're going to get more of that bulldozer. Here comes Lopez, just churning. Big fella doesn't want to go down. Somebody's going to have to get in front of him. Basically, just lay down in front of him. That's where he's going to trip over. So Lopez with a big run. Glencoe defense, though, they would stand strong here and get a forced turnover on downs to keep Plainview out of the end zone here. It was 21-0 as we left with about 10 seconds going to third. But tonight, it was Plainview's night. They get their first win in region play, 35-7 on the road.
The one thing that Coach Jeremy Pruitt likes is when that fullback is rumbling for all them yards, because his group don't have to be out there.
Yeah.
But I have to say this, that, you got Daddy and you got Jeremy, but there's another brother.
Yes.
There's a brother named Luke that's at Pisgah, and he's a head coach there.
And they're doing fairly well right now, too.
They are. So that whole family has always been a coaching family, been very close. You can tell that those 2 brothers have learned well from their daddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. He's been in Plainview for how long? 30 years?
How many times?
How many times?
Yeah, how many times?
3
different times.
Early 80s, I believe he began there in 82.
Yeah.
Was his first time, and then he's been to Georgia, been to Tennessee, been to Fort Payne, and all these places, and now he's back for the 3rd time. And everybody's got an opinion. I have an opinion. Here's my opinion: the best defensive coordinator in football today in this country, NFL, college, pro, high school, whatever it is, was that guy staying on the sideline at Glencoe tonight, and Jeremy Pruitt.
Yeah, and he's very
Alabama
humble.
fans were salivating to get this guy all
absolutely.
season.
And he's a very humble guy. I've known him for a long time. A lot of people don't take him that way.
Yeah.
But he's very humble, because if he wasn't, he wouldn't be coaching hard tonight.
100%.
Coaching is coaching.
100%.
So
yeah.
and he's got the passion. So those guys, it don't matter where you're at, you just coach hard, and that's what he does. He learned that well from his daddy.
We all love a good comeback story, right? And
That's right.
we like guys that pick themselves up and then continue on. That's what he's doing right now.
He's a great guy,
awesome.
no doubt about that. Had a chance to meet him a couple of times, and a super nice guy. Time for our 3rd extra point of the night, presented by Red Threads. Randolph County High School will be going for win number 500 in school history next Friday night at home against Wadley. It's going to be tough. The Tigers have won 499 games. They got that 499 tonight in that 46-29 win against Weaver. 104 seasons of varsity football. RCHS began playing football in 1920. If they can beat their county rival from Wadley next week at Hewlin-Humphrey Stadium, they will have win number 500 in school history. More of After the Game in just a moment.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
High school football, Alabama's after the game on a football Friday night. Time for more team sports highlights. Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett with us. Earlier, we had the head football coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs in with us. Wild game tonight, a crazy fourth quarter. Ohatchee wins over Piedmont tonight. We got the highlights, Chad, from the Field of Champions.
Absolutely, John. Playoff implications all over this one. As we know, both teams coming in tonight's matchup, 1-1 in region play, with yet their biggest matchups still on the schedule. So a loss tonight would be a tough one to take. Let's go out to the highlights and check them out and see how it handled between Ohatchee and Piedmont. They are both coming in well on the season. Indians start off the ball. Jake Robertson going to pitch it to number 2, Nathan Jones. He's going to pick up the first down for the Indians. Robertson, he's going to drop back to pass, and this is going to be tipped off the fingers of Jacob McElroy. Almost picked off. Beautiful play there, but Ohatchee would keep the ball. Next play, Robertson. He's going to connect with Jesse Baswell, one of the best hairlines in the game, Coach. Flowing locks out in the back. He goes there for another first down. Then Baswell, he's going to find the end zone this time. Tough running kid right there. 7-0 Indians on top. Coach Miller talking his team up. They had the lead at one point. They really played hard tonight, but Ohatchee's just a little bit better. Ohatchee back with the ball. Jones gets the first down, and then Robertson, he's going to find Colby Hester. There's been like a three-headed monster here for Ohatchee all year. It's the same names we go over. Hester there with the first down, and later they're going to find Hester again. This time he's going to make it for 6. Go into the end zone, and Ohatchee is on the board again. They're on top 14-0. Ohatchee, we've talked about this, a lot of onside kick. That's just kind of the way they do things this year. Not necessarily for onside kicks, just kind of a strategy. They do recover this one, and trouble strikes. So when Baswell's pass is going to be intercepted by Jacob McElroy. He tipped the last one. He definitely got this one, and that will set up the Bulldogs in fine fashion. Coach Finley, how are we going to let this happen? Piedmont now on offense. Coleman Wilson connecting with Ishmael Bethel to find the end zone. Nice stretch, beautiful play. 14-7 now. It's cut into the lead. Like I said, Piedmont actually had a lead at one point, and Ohatchee just found a way to have more tonight.
Piedmont had the lead 21-20. Ohatchee scores the last 18 points of the game with a pick 6, onside kick we talked about, and they win the game 38-21. Huge region win in that Class 3A Region 6. We're going to go back now and take a look at our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden regions right now. So we've got the 3A regions that we're going to look at, and well, 1A. We're going to take a look at 1A. My apologies. 1A Region 6, Class 1A Region 6, Wadley. Huge win tonight over Raglan, because let's look at this, guys. They have beaten Raglan and they've beaten Spring Garden already head-to-head. Most people would say that's probably the top 2 in the region, contenders to Wadley. Still, you've got Winterboro, Victory Christian in there, but boy, Wadley has done a lot of good for themselves here. 3-0, 5-0 with that big game with Randolph County next week.
Yeah, I've already been saying it since the beginning of the year. Wadley's going to be, to me, Wadley's going to be the class of that region. Spring Garden's right behind them.
Surprised today, I saw a picture of Wilkes. And I was not
ready for that.
He was that big. Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. I was not ready for that, because I remember the older Wilkes from back in the mid-2000s. Yes. He was kind of a shorter in stature kid. This one, that's not him.
Duquesne Wilkes, 10th grader already been offered by Penn State this week. A 10th grader from Wadley, Alabama, already being offered by Penn State of the Big Ten as a 10th grader. Let's go to Class 1A and go north to Region 7. Coosa Christian tonight with another very impressive win. This was a revenge game for them. The only game they lost in region play last year was to Valley Head. They got that revenge tonight, 35-0 at Valley Head. They are in control of this region. The only team left that may can challenge them would be a good Appalachian team, but I'm just not sure that even Appalachian can put much of a challenge up to Coosa Christian.
Well, I've already said it all year. They're the fastest. They would be one of the fastest teams in 1A, and they play a lot of people. So when you can put that many people on the field in 1A football, and you're that fast, they got a great opportunity to this time maybe get past where they did last year.
Well, we've been talking about teams like Wadley and like Coosa Christian that are undefeated and maybe making deep playoff runs. That brings us to our East Alabama Top 10 presented by the folks at Awards to Remember. Not a lot of changes this week. There was one change close to the top, but other than that, we've had not a lot of changes. That one change that we talked about is Handley. Handley lost big tonight, did not drop them out of the top 10, but they did drop a long way. They lost 31-6 tonight to Clay Central, but even with that loss, even though they lost by 4 touchdowns, still keeping them in the top 10. Number 9, kind of moving everybody up. Spring Garden had a win tonight, keeping them there at number 9. Number 8 in the East Alabama top 10 is the Piedmont Bulldogs, and then also we've got number 7 in our East Alabama top 10, Anniston. Number 6. Oxford. I don't think this is the right East Alabama top 10.
I was about to say,
this is
John, are you okay? What's going on here?
We'll get this corrected. We'll get this corrected and come back. That is not the correct East Alabama top 10. But what is correct is our Awards to Remember, celebrating 40 years in business. They were named as one of the top 10 dealers in the Southeast for plaques, trophies, medals, all types of awards. And you can go to awardstoRemember.com, and that's one of the best websites in the nation as far as awards go. $100,000 of new screen printing equipment. Go to awardstoRemember.com. 892-2500, 4017 Alabama Highway 144 in Ohatchee. We'll be back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The Coosa Valley, on the banks of the Coosa River in Gadsden, Alabama. Fishing, boating, and paddling, and home to Team One Chevrolet. Team One Chevy has been serving generations for years. Even the grandkids are grown. Come by and see why so many people come back to Team One Chevy in Gadsden.
Home of the best people, the best service, period.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Westbrook Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden bringing you our bringing you our region rundown this year. And they'll also be bringing you our playoff brackets once we get into playoff time. If you love football, you love the tailgate, let me tell you, Team 1 Chevy in Gadsden has the perfect tailgate vehicle for you. Go over there and see Kevin Riggin and the team. They might put you in a new Silverado or a Tahoe or a Suburban. And right now, you can register to win a huge Auburn or Alabama tailgate package with a huge school tent, school chairs, much more. Team 1 Chevrolet, 413 East Bigham Boulevard in Gadsden. Earlier in the program, we had the head coach of the Pleasant Valley Raiders, Coach Jonathan Nixon. I'm going to say it again, because we don't get to say this much. The undefeated Pleasant Valley Raiders. 4-0 guys for the first time ever in school history. They've never been 4-0. That's a great thing, man. I always say in high school football, when you have the age that I have, every dog has their day. I've seen teams. Right. I've seen teams. Every team that I can imagine has had losing seasons and 10-0 seasons and things like that. So every dog has their day. And right now it's Pleasant Valley. They're the dog having their day. And they beat Cleveland tonight. We have the highlights from out at Raider Field.
Yeah, just to give you a little context for that, we talked about it a couple weeks ago with the state's losing record. I mean, they were having the longest losing streak at one point, but not now. Because PV is rolling in for the first time 3-0. It's the first time since 2007. Looking to move for 4-0 for the first time in school history, taking on Cleveland, who's rolling in 0-3, looking for their first win on the year. Let's go to Pleasant Valley for the highlights and check out those Raiders against the Panthers. They are leading 14-0 when we arrive in the second half. Pleasant Valley has the ball. Jaden Sparks going to get the first down. Then Braxton Salter's pass is going to be caught by Holt Bentley, who's not just going to catch the ball. He's going to take it through the Panther defense, and he's going to find his way all the way down, tiptoeing through the sideline and putting it there for 6. And Raiders are up 21-0. Coach Nix, yeah, that's exactly the way I drew it up. I'm going to give you the thumbs up. Cleveland on offense. Riley Kennedy connecting with Logan Branham for a first down. Looks kind of like Spring Garden, doesn't it, with that uniform there. A few plays later, number 64, Kevin Chavez. This is not your typical running back. We were talking about the running back for Plainview. My goodness, this is an offensive tackle. Chavez for the touchdown. And then a couple of days later, Chavez in there for the first down. And Cleveland is on the scoring drive. More of the big fella. Look at him go, Coach. Oh, my goodness.
Truck. That's
you got to love that. That's a tank, man, for real. I'm just enjoying. Well, I'm just going to let you guys feast on. I'm not even going to say anything other than just, wow, look at that. Beautiful runs by Chavez. Good-looking stuff right there. Next play, Brian Sandoval is going to find his way into the end zone for the Panthers. 2-point conversion is going to be good here, so it makes this 21-16 a little close for comfort. That would be the final. 21-16, Pleasant Valley 4-0 for the first time in school history. Go Raiders.
Would it be safe to say that might be the biggest backfield in the state?
I mean, that looked like what I would see like in 10-year-old football when they just give it to the biggest kid on the team, just let him go.
They forgot to put a sticker on his helmet, not let him play.
No weight limits here. Yeah. That was fun to watch.
And he ran hard.
He did.
Had good balance.
He did.
Thinks he might be a good offensive lineman.
I think he might be.
And that's an interesting game coming next week with Pleasant Valley and Raglan because, you know, Raglan lost big tonight. at the hands of a very good Waterloo team. But this is a good Ragland team. The teams they've lost to, they lost to Waterloo, they lost to Vincent by 9 points, they lost to Randolph County by 6. This is a good team. And of course, there's always a little something extra special there with Pleasant Valley playing Ragland with Jonathan Nix. Spending so many years as the head coach at Ragland, I know it's a special game for him. So that interesting game coming up, non-region game next week.
Yeah, and for him, and he even mentioned it a while ago, is just getting those kids to keep wanting to work hard to get better each week. That's going to be the struggle for him right now, is them kids learning how to have success.
Yeah, I heard you ask him earlier. They dealt with adversity, but now how do you deal with success? They have no idea at this point, so it's going to be a new thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to come back. We've got more regions to run down. Team of the Week, that is also coming as well as we wind things down here on a Football Friday night on After the Game.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life. A place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Red Threads, powered by O-Brand, great friends of High School Football Alabama after the game. They are the ones who do all of our shirts. They do our muscle team shirts. They do our Aniston Orthopedic score shirts for us as well. They have a great storefront on the square in Jacksonville. If you're going to homecoming tomorrow afternoon, Eastern Michigan coming in to JSU Stadium, 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, go buy Red Threads. They have the best selection of unique quality JSU merchandise that you're going to find in Jacksonville. Plus, they have high school merchandise as well. It's a nice store, relaxing place. You'll love it. Red Threads, powered by O-Brand, bringing you, of course, our extra points. We'll have one of those coming up here in just a moment. Back with Coach and Chad Barnett. Let's take a look at more of our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundowns. We will begin in Class 3A, and we'll take a look at the two 3A regions across East Alabama. We're going to look at 3A and 4A in this segment coming up this evening. And we've, as we kind of hit the halfway point, we're at the halfway point pretty much of the season as far as region play goes. Everybody goes to non-region play next week. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at 3A Region 4. Randolph County, big win tonight at home against Weaver. Walter Welborn, huge win as they win against the defending region champion Dadeville on the road tonight. And then surprisingly, Sachs down there 0-3 and 0-5. But still a lot to be played for in this region. Childersburg's pretty good. Dadeville's hanging around. But Coach and Chad, I think this thing is kind of looking like it might be a Welborn-Randolph County game that might decide this thing.
At Randolph County this time, that game would be. And, you know, Coach Smith, we talked to him last week, and he said that, you know, they used that off week, and they're getting better and better and better, and they're starting to find their way offensively especially.
Yeah, they know how to play some football, and he's led them to playoffs numerous times, like 11 times, I think. So this should be a problem for them to get in, but like you said, that should be a good one to watch there for sure.
3A Region 6, we've talked about this all year long. There's going to be at least two good football teams that will not make the playoffs out of this region. Who those two are going to be, I don't know. I think Sylvania proved tonight with that big win over Geraldine, 37-16, and it wasn't that close, that Sylvania is the cream of the crop, so to speak, in this region. But after that, really, maybe Glencoe at the bottom, Sylvania at the top, but then you've got 6 teams battling for 3 positions the way it looks like, and this could go a lot of ways right now.
I don't know how to make heads or tails of it, because of Westbrook, you know, they're 1-2. But we saw them play a 1-point game against Ohatchee.
Could have won the game.
Could have won the game. Played Hoax Bluff well for a minute. This Sylvania Geraldine, though, were you guys surprised to see, because was Geraldine more the heralded team coming into the year? Were y'all surprised by the Sylvania win?
I was not surprised by the Sylvania win. I was a little bit surprised because at one time they were ahead 37-7 in the game, and this is one of the better Geraldine teams in a while. Sylvania's just been really dominant. They dominated Piedmont. They dominated everybody they played.
And bringing everybody back from last year's semifinal. And Sylvania, it's going to take a very, very good football team in 3A to beat Sylvania. They're solid.
I keep solid. That's the word I keep using with it. Let's go to 4A, Class 4A Region 4. Look at that. Cleburne County. Huge win tonight. Can't understate how big a win this was for Cleburne County and beating Munford. Folks, they're 2-0 in region play. There's only 2 teams undefeated in this region, and it's Cleburne County and Handley.
Well, hey, I'm proud of Cleburne County. I'm glad they got that win tonight because it was a win that they had to have against Munford. And while I'm here, since I'm standing here, I got to throw some stats out there.
You got some Cleburne County stats.
Got some Cleburne County stats tonight. Thank you, Coach Taylor, for sending them to me. They had 482 yards rushing tonight, and they're back to running the wing tee. They went back old school, running the football and using the kids that they got. They're being successful with 5 touchdowns. You know, they had, well, I take that back. They had 464 yards rushing and 18 passing. Carter Hughes, a 10th grader, had 13 carries tonight for 264 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Jake Dingler had 15 carries for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, you know, that's when you can rush the football like that and you're scoring too. Yeah. It was just a great win for them, and I'm just so happy for them that is an opportunity now. They got another big game coming up with White Plains later on, but that's an opportunity to get into the playoffs.
It's basically a 5-team race right here, right, for these, because I mean I think White Plains is still building. Talladega struggled tonight again against Jacksonville. So I mean, really, for Munford, Aniston, Jacksonville, Handley, Cleburne County, it's those 5. Who's going to be left out? That's the big question.
And Munford next week on Thursday night, because it's race weekend. Thursday night they come back home, and guess who's coming to town? Cherokee County Warriors for a non-region game. Does not get any easier for the Munford Lions.
No.
And speaking of Cherokee County, let's go to Class 4A Region 6. The Warriors, another just kind of an average night, 35-0 winners tonight over Hanceville as they win the game big time. As a matter of fact, that was just 55-0. I said 35-0, 55-0 over Hanceville. Etowah had a big win tonight over Good Hope on the road.
Struggled a little bit though, didn't they? It was close, or was it closer maybe?
I think it was a little close early, and then Cherokee County blew them out in the second half.
Okay.
So I'll get my first. I saw Cherokee County week 1 for a quarter or two against Piedmont, but this next Thursday night I'll get to see them for a whole game down at Munford. Looking forward
and
to that.
And talking about non-region games, we mentioned they got Cherokee County. Well, Claiborne County just had to pick up Reeltown.
Yeah.
Coming in for homecoming.
And you may think, well, Reeltown's a 2A play and a 4A. Reeltown is not your typical 2A team.
I can remember the day when we used to play Clay County and Limeville, and they were just a 2A team, and we had to play them all the time.
Some good non-region games coming up next week. Time for our Red Threads Extra Point, our last one of the night. Then we're going to come back, and we do have our East Alabama Top 10 corrected, and we have our Team of the Week coming up. But right now it's time for our last Red Threads Extra Point of the night. BB Comer head coach Adam Fawcett recorded his 99th career victory in last night's 36-0 win over Vincent. Win number 100 could come in next week's game at Legion Stadium versus Sachs. Fawcett is in his 6th year at Comer, his 16th year as a head coach. Previously served as head coach at Smith Station, Childersburg, and Winneboro. Team of the Week and the right East Alabama Top 10 next.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After 15 years of supplying top quality, name brand sports equipment and team apparel to hundreds of Alabama schools, coaches, and athletes, and continuing to provide custom uniforms, embroidery, and screen printing, Team Sports is adding a new player. Coming soon, McClellan Sports and Outdoors. Whether you're an athlete in search of football helmets, bats, or even cleats, or an outdoor enthusiast in search of apparel from top brands, McClellan Sports and Outdoors has you covered. Visit McClellansports.com for more information.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement, with physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Noble Bank and Trust bringing you the Noble Bank and Trust post-game pressers today. We had Cole Limbaugh tonight from the Fellowship of Christian Athletes of the Chehaw Valley. Head coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs, Jonathan Miller. Also the head coach of the Pleasant Valley Raiders, Jonathan Nix, with us on our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. Noble Bank, your one-stop shop for checking, savings, loans, mortgage, lines of credit, services for both personal and business. You are a person, a face, a name when you walk into one of the branches here in East Alabama. More than just an account number, all of their decisions are made locally, and they give back to this community more than any other bank their size. Noble Bank and Trust bringing you the post-game pressers. All right, guys. I don't know if I've ever been in this situation in 33 years where I'm sitting there going, well, here's our team, and then you just have this sinking feeling that, no, this is not our East Alabama top 10, and there's just no way around it. Sometimes you have to say, well, hey, let's punt this thing and come back. So we're going to come back to our East Alabama top 10 presented by Awards to Remember. We'll give you all 10 of these. Handley 10, then Ohatchee at 9, Randolph County 8, Jacksonville at 7, Oxford at 6, Coosa Christian 5, Wadley 4, Central Clay County at 3, Cherokee County at 2, B.B. Comer at 1. Nobody dropped out. The big thing was Handley dropped from 2 to 10. Everybody else moved up. All of these teams, except for Handley, won tonight.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. Do we have every classification but 7A here?
That's right, because we don't have any 7A teams in East Alabama.
Every other classification is just about
4A.
represented there. There's 4A, 5A, 3A, 6A.
4A, 3A.
Got it right there.
Got it.
I wonder if the Handley fans are smarting a little bit here. They're number 10, and I do believe they beat Jacksonville.
They did.
Not?
They did. They did beat Jacksonville.
Handley faithful.
They're looking at the big picture, guys. They're looking at the big picture.
It's what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, I know.
It's what have you done for me lately? And so they lose tonight 31-6, and Jacksonville wins 51-0. So again, this is a top 10. This is a power poll, by the way. It's how strong are you in your respective classifications? So again, we want to make the thing. We don't think that we're not saying that B.B. Comer is better than Oxford. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying in their respective classification, how they're playing this week. This is kind of where we are. So that's our East Alabama top 10 presented by Awards to Remember. Now, it is time, guys, for our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. And some weeks it's pretty clear cut. Some weeks there's not a lot to choose from. This week we had a lot of ways we could go with this. But I tell you, I'm going to explain why this team is Team of the Week. They lost 2 games last year. Both of those losses were to this same team, one in their conference championship game. And the team that they beat tonight on the road 4 hours away in another state was a team that handed them their only 2 losses last year. And that team has dominated this conference, won the last 2 or 3 conference championships in the Christian Football Association. And Jacksonville Christian went on the road to Meridian, Mississippi, beat Russell Christian 37-6 tonight. Coach Tommy Miller sending me a text from the bus on the way up I-59 to let me know that they won our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week, the Jacksonville Christian Thunder. We will be coming to JCA with our Addison Orthopedic Score shirts. We'll also have our shirts from Ted's Floors and Beyond, and we'll also have our Tough Guy Trophy from Awards to Remember, all coming to Jacksonville, to the campus of Jacksonville Christian Academy and the JCA Thunder, our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. For Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett, our entire hardworking team, we'll see you back here next Friday night at 10 o'clock on Facebook and YouTube.
Alabama Scoreboard is a production of Fairfax Garden Media.